Okay, so this is the front entrance area where you walk in. Offices are here. This is the snack bar area. A few tables here. There's a lot more upstairs. This is the restroom area, ladies' room, men's room. And I went inside the ladies' room. I did not go inside the men's room, sorry. But I assume they're similar. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm recording from the far end. This is the smaller of the two sides. So from the curtain to the wall is 90. And then the length all the way to that wall at the far end. And this side is 180 or 185. I have to look up again. And you got the same over here. And then on this side, you've got 90 from the wall to the curtain, and it's a full 200 to the other side. And a full 200 to the other side over here. And then that's the front entry area and the stairs that go up to the mezzanine viewing area.
Is the smaller building but larger rings. It is 220 long and 200 and some wide, so we could get 2 full-size rings in here. This is where you walk in at, and then the bathrooms are right here as well. Okay, this is the map for the facility. This is where the front entrance would be, and the stairs are here. The bathrooms are over in this area right here. The offices are here. As you come in, this side is the larger of the two sides. So this side is 200 along this edge and 180 along this edge. The field size is white line to white line, so we actually get a little bit more space than what the field side says. The curtain that they have that divides the ring runs the lengthways this way. So it divides it into 90 by 200 rings. We would obviously only need by 100. If we didn't use the curtain, if you push the curtains aside and you set up ring gating along this way and use it along this back wall, you could get 100 by 110 and you get 2 rings adjacent to each other. That would leave you with a 10-foot buffer zone, a 60 by 200 area for crating. That's 12,000 square feet for crating on this side. On this side is slightly smaller. It's 180 by 180, so you're going to get the 90 width if you use the curtain. If you go this way, either direction, you could use the curtain, you could go either direction. You can get 110 feet, so that leaves you a 60 by 180 area for crating, giving a 10-foot buffer zone to the rings, and that gives you 10,800 square feet of crating. There are doors along all of these walls to get in and out, so whichever area we set the rings up, whichever direction, there are plenty of doors all the way around, including into the main area, etc., for people to get in and out with their dogs. So it's not congested, is actually easy getting in and out, and there is grass all around the building, so that, you know, pottying dogs and stuff is easy. This is the smaller of the two rings. The smaller of the two buildings, the larger of the two rings. So this is 230 long by 130 wide. So you're going to fit 2 110-foot rings. You could even put a 10-foot buffer zone between the rings if you wanted to in this building, and you could get, you know, close to a 20-foot buffer zone, even going 110 by 110. That said, you're not going to get any crating in this building. Again, there's doors all along here as well as the main doors. I would suggest you set it up so people are going in maybe the end doors to wait to go into the ring, and maybe have some easy ups or something around the corner areas for staging for people who are waiting to go into the rings and exiting the rings, so that there's room and it doesn't, you know, I think you can make the flow work so it doesn't feel as congested as it might otherwise. And you can get 2 full rings in there. our building where we couldn't have crating. So if we go to the left side of the building, there's an embankment where you could have grass and you could have easy ups where all people waited, so that there would be a staging area on this side. And then if finally you go to the right side of the building, same thing, you have grass that goes all the way around to the back of the building with all these doors here. So depending on where you wanted to set, have the entrances in and out of the building, you could literally set up tents along here for people to wait with their dogs, 10 dogs, 15 dogs out. So they didn't have to feel rushed and they didn't have to feel crowded in a tight space while they were waiting to go into the ring. Mezzanine building where the mezzanine has tables and chairs for viewing. We could have the banquet up here without any problem. There's plenty of room for long banquet types tables. He said they have people who cater all the time. And this is just like the views into the ring along that mezzanine area for viewing, and then the tables would be here. Behind the stairs is a bar. They do have a cash bar facility as well, which they'd be happy to open up and run for us. These are the grassy areas along the outside of the buildings. He said that, people actually, probably not here so much, but along the sides of the buildings for pottying dogs, and then people actually will pitch tents and tent there. So all these grassy areas here. He works with the fire marshal. They have a good relationship. He said it's never been any kind of issue. Okay, so in terms of parking, he's going to be sending me a map for parking. This is the main parking lot. There's also a second parking lot, which I'm going to show you.
Okay, I'm just trying to give you kind of a sense of how this extra parking lot is. It's pretty good size. Those are trailers back there. We can get quite a lot of those parking here. And the road's right here. And the facility itself is just on the other side of that underpass. I think you could probably walk the grass to it. And this is at the other end. There's the overpass. And there's this grassy area. So just to give you a sense, those are the buildings. That's the big building, the smaller building with the bigger rings, and the parking lot. And there's the entrance to that. This is the overpass. And this is the grassy area where I just walked. And there's the parking lot right there. So just, as an option, obviously crossing a multi-lane road is not an ideal situation, but certainly early in the morning. There have not been a lot of cars running on that road, and it is a short cross from over here, as opposed to trying to walk along the road or anything. That's a pretty short cross there with good view coming both directions. So that's an option.